foreign Bills fan here, die-hard Bills fan. I have been a fan of the Buffalo Bills for my entire life, and I can't wait for this AFC Championship game, which is the biggest game of my entire life as a Bills fan. There hasn't been any other game as big as this is. Like, there's too much at stake on this one, and for the legacies of both Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, it cannot get bigger than this. Like, it cannot even get better than this one. Like, the two superstars of the NFL, the two biggest quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, like, one of the greatest of all times. Like, that is considered one of the greatest of all times, and that if he wins this game and he goes to the Super Bowl for the third time in a row, he would even be considered by many the greater than Tom Brady, because Tom Brady has never accomplished anything like that. He never got to 3 Super Bowls in a row. Least of all, winning 3 Super Bowls in a row. So yeah, like, Mahomes can achieve the greatest, or one of the greatest achievements in the history of the NFL and of any sports worldwide. And Josh Allen's greatness will be defined in this game, because he has lost 3 times in a row to Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Two of them have been like heartbreaking losses, because he could have beaten Patrick Mahomes in the 2 last playoff games that they have featured. So this is the fourth opportunity that Josh Allen has to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, and he wants, of course, to show that he's the best of the best. He's the MVP, clearly, of the NFL. He's the best player, and that's in this season. He was the best player, and he's playing like better than anybody else, even better than Mahomes. But he has to prove that he belongs in that conversation to be the best player by defeating the best. Like, if you don't defeat the best, you can never be considered the best. And Josh Allen has lost 3 times in the playoffs against Patrick Mahomes. So it's now or never for Joshua Patrick Allen in this episode 9 of the best rivalry, the best saga that the NFL offers us. And well, you can see there, like, the leadership that these guys bring to the table is like unbelievable. They are the two best leaders in the two best teams in the AFC, and arguably in the NFL. So, like, as you can see, like, Josh Allen, like, I have seen his speeches in the locker room after Sean McDermott talks to the guys, and he always ends like with a speech, like short but motivating speech to his teammates. Like, he always, is telling them how proud he is because of his efforts, how important the team achievements are, and how he is thankful, like, for to them, like, for giving their hearts out. So this guy is a great leader. Like, he tells them he loves them, he tells them he's proud of them, and he, most importantly of all, he highlights the fact that they are not done yet. They are not done because the only thing he's thinking about, and the team the Buffalo Bills are thinking of, is to get to that Super Bowl and get that Super Bowl ring, so that the franchise has never gotten one. So he is the chosen one. He's the chosen one. The Bills Mafia considers him the chosen one, and he has to be the chosen one and defeat the guy that has built an empire, the evil emperor who is Patrick Mahomes, that is almighty and powerful, that he hasn't been beaten by nobody, like, in the last 3 years. So he hasn't been beaten by anybody in the playoffs. So this is Josh Allen's chance to cement his legacy. This is Josh Allen's chance to say, yeah, like, I stopped Mahomes from three-peating, and I won a Super Bowl that year. So that would be a legendary story, one of the best stories of all times in the NFL. So I'm totally ready to root for the Bills, and it's time. It's time for Josh Allen. It's now or never. Let's go, Buffalo. So let's do what we did in the season, in the 2024 season, when we beat the Chiefs 30-21, and Allen became Superman. In the play of the year, when he like ran like with all his heart, with all his energy, with all his power, with all his love, everything he's got to get to the end zone and beat the Chiefs. And I mean, he has never. No, he's the only player. He's the only quarterback that has beaten Mahomes more than 2 times in his whole career. So he's more than capable of doing it. The thing is that he has done it 4 times in the regular season and no times in the playoffs. And the playoffs is what like separates the greatest from the literally like the goats. Like the greatest from the goats are separated in the playoffs. So Josh Allen doesn't just want to be the greatest or one of the greatest. He wants to be one of the goats. Like goats are there are only two goats or maybe three goats and that's it. So that's what Josh Allen wants, and he's totally capable of doing it. If he weren't capable of doing it, we wouldn't even be having these all this hype and all these conversations about that. The media knows it, everybody knows it. He's the only one who can dethrone Patrick Mahomes' empire. So let's do it again. Let's just do it again because we are completely capable of doing it. Even Patrick Mahomes knew it after that game ended. He told Josh Allen, "We'll do it again, baby. We'll do it again, baby." Meaning that he knew he's a prophet. Like he's, I mean, one of the goats of the sport, and he's a prophet because he said like, "We'll do it again," and he knew. I know he knew that they were going to face off against each other again in the biggest stage, which is the AFC Championship game. They cannot face off in the Super Bowl because they are from the AFC, both of them, but this is like a Super Bowl, to be honest. This is like a Super Bowl. Every time they face off against each other, it's like a Super Bowl. So this is another Super Bowl that the NFL is gifting us. It's amazing, and as you can see, like Patrick Mahomes is already in his 8th year as a starting quarterback. He's already one of the greatest that has ever done it in the playoffs. What I said, like the greatest, like playoff performers are the best quarterbacks that have touched this earth. And Patrick Mahomes is on the 8th spot already, like yards wise and in many categories. So of course Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, Joe Montana, Drew Brees, John Elway, Dan Marino, Russell Wilson, and Kurt Warner are in this top 12. All of them great legends. All of them already retired. Mahomes is the only one active, and well, Aaron Rodgers of course, but Aaron Rodgers is in the last part of his career. So if Mahomes beats Allen in these playoffs, he would even go as further as getting to the 3rd place all time in the playoffs. That would be insane on his 8th season. I mean, like with a lot of seasons left, at least 7 more. Like, I mean, in his prime, unless like a tragedy happens or something, he's got like a lot more left, a lot more years left. So he can easily get to the top 3, and if he goes to the Super Bowl, if he beats Allen tonight and get to that 3rd place all time, I mean, like with a lot of years left. So he's gonna easily become top 1 or top 2. Like there's not even doubt about it. So that's how big Patrick Mahomes' figure is right now. So that's the challenge, the like insane challenge that this man has, because he has been insane like as well during his career in the playoffs. Like he's in his 7th season. Like Mahomes' thing is like not like out of this world, otherworldly. But Allen's career in the playoffs has been really awesome as well. I mean, he's one of the 2 quarterbacks active right now. Like well, alongside Aaron Rodgers, but we know that Aaron Rodgers is like in his last tenure as a quarterback in the league. But he is in his 7th season, and he's already on the 19th place of all times of the playoff greatest quarterbacks. Like after like below Jim Kelly, which he's trying to do something that Jim Kelly never did. Like as great as Jim Kelly was, like he went to 4 Super Bowls in a row, which is something that nobody has ever done before. Not even Brady. Nobody has done that. He lost all of them. That's the problem. So, but Jim Kelly was super great. So achieving like what Jim Kelly achieved is not an easy task either. But Josh Allen has all the makings, like has everything. He's got everything to surpass Jim Kelly's legacy in Buffalo, and he can do it by winning 1 Super Bowl. That's the easiest part of it. Like, but it's a lot easier said than done because he has to beat like one of the greatest, one of the goats of the sport. So yeah, that's the problem. In this era, he shares this era with Patrick Mahomes. So that's that's something that every great has to overcome. They have to overcome adversity and they have to overcome like all the opposition. So Josh Allen knows that in order to be considered more than just a great quarterback in the playoffs and a great quarterback in the regular season, but to be a legend, to become a real legend, he has to beat Patrick Mahomes. But like we were checking like this list of the top 25. Jim Kelly, Troy Aikman, Terry Bradshaw, Donovan McNabb, Joe Flacco, and Steve Young, who are all above Josh Allen, have a common like characteristic that they don't share with Josh Allen, and is that all of them have at least gotten to the Super Bowl. Josh Allen is the first on the whole list that has never gotten to a Super Bowl. Even the one below him, Matthew Stafford, has won a Super Bowl. So in the top 20, like nobody except for Josh Allen has not entered, like has not gotten to the Super Bowl. He's the only one on this list of the top 20 playoff performers that has never been to a Super Bowl. So it's time. It's time. It's unfair. It's even unfair that he hasn't got to a Super Bowl. So it's it's now or never. I mean, I have heard people saying like, ah, no, it doesn't hurt in any way. Like if Josh Allen doesn't get to the Super Bowl and doesn't beat Patrick Mahomes this Sunday because he has overachieved. Like nobody expected the Bills to be in this stage at this point in the season. Like that's insanely dumb because like there are not many opportunities in life. So if life, if you work hard and you get to this point where he has got, so there's no tomorrow. Like nobody even knows if the world will exist next year, and if they are going to get to the cusp again. Like it's not for granted, not even for Mahomes, not for Allen. Like, and there are many franchises that are spending millions looking to build up a competitive team that could get to a Super Bowl and could win a Super Bowl. So, and there's a lot of talent quarterback wise in the league right now. Like, I mean, it's not just Mahomes and Allen, it's Herbert. Herbert will come back stronger than ever. I know that, like, because the Chargers are super well coached now and they have, they are only lacking playmakers, but nothing guarantees that, like, Allen will beat Herbert, for example, or Joe Burrow every single year to get to this point. Like, Herbert, Burrow, Bo Nix himself. Like, yeah, there are many good quarterbacks in the AFC and in the NFC. Like, a monster has already been born, Jaden Daniels. We have Jalen Hurts. We have Stafford, like, if he doesn't retire. So, it's not a given. So, he has to make the most out of this opportunity, which is his fourth. I mean, it's not his fault that he hasn't won the games, but it's clearly something that is affecting his greatness. So, well, as great as he is, he's only one of the three guys in the top 25 that has never gone to a Super Bowl. The other two, Philip Rivers and Warren Moon, never got it and will never get there because they are retired. So the all the rest of the 25 have at least gotten to a Super Bowl or won Super Bowls, multiple or at least one. So Josh Allen has to do it. So top 25, and another thing that Josh Allen shares with Patrick Mahomes is that him, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Kurt Warner, and Matthew Stafford are the only five quarterbacks in this list of the greatest of all times that are above 100 plus rating points. So it's unbelievable. Like, how come a guy that is already in the top 19, he could get to the top 17 after he's done it this season? In his seventh season, like he still has like 8 more years to go at least. He's in his prime. He's the MVP. He is one of the top 5 in passer rating ever in the playoffs, and he hasn't gone to a Super Bowl. That's ridiculous. So it's insane. So Josh Allen, and another thing is that Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes, regular season and playoffs, head to head, has more total yards, more total touchdowns, less turnovers. I mean, he has even played better, like in head-to-head games, like not in the playoffs, but he has been at the level in the playoffs. But combining regular season and playoffs, he has even better numbers. Well, I mean, doesn't mean that he has played completely better, but man, you can say like because of those numbers, of those stats, that Allen has played super well against Patrick Mahomes. There's like it. Patrick Mahomes hasn't owned Josh Allen. Like the Bills have lost, as a team to the Kansas City Chiefs, and that was shown in the 2022 playoffs, in which Josh Allen played lights out. One of the best games a quarterback has ever played in the history of football. Not only the playoffs, in the history of football, including that game, like that Mahomes played as well. That it was one of the best games that a quarterback has played. I mean, maybe these are the two best performances, or the top. They are in the top 5 performances that quarterbacks have ever had in the history of the NFL, and they came in the same game, and one of them had to lose, and in the end, Patrick Mahomes won. Josh Allen lost. So somebody had to lose. Unfortunately for the Bills Mafia, Josh Allen was the one. For the Bills organization, Josh Allen was the one who lost. But it was 42 to 36 in overtime, in the greatest game that has ever been played. And that's when this rivalry got to another level. Like a level of greatness that has never been seen before. And this game, it's gonna be remembered because of the greatness of Patrick Mahomes, who like tied up the game in 13 seconds. Like Josh Allen just left 13 seconds on the clock for Patrick Mahomes to do something because he was winning the game and he was playing like unbelievably. And then Patrick Mahomes tied it up. He became the Grim Reaper in this game, and then everything was decided with the coin toss in overtime because either one of these guys who had won the coin toss would have won the game. So Josh Allen could have been on the winning end, but he lost the coin toss. The Bills lost the coin toss, and the rest is history. Patrick Mahomes won, got to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl. But Josh Allen could have won that, and it was destiny. I mean, but destiny is also part of the greatness of Patrick Mahomes. And then in the 2024 playoffs last year, the same story. The Chiefs beat the Bills in the last minutes, and because of a Tyler Bass missed field goal. I mean, like another time when Josh Allen played very well and miscues by teammates, like ruined another shot at the Super Bowl for the Bills. But Josh Allen never blamed any of his teammates. He has never blamed anybody but himself. And he's just right because that's greatness. And I mean, if these two games would have been a little bit different, if Tyler Bass hasn't missed this field goal, if Josh Allen had won that coin toss, maybe we would be talking about you know, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen fighting for their third Super Bowl instead of Josh Allen fighting for his first and Patrick Mahomes fighting for his fourth and third in a row. So, but we cannot do anything. The Bills just have to give their best game today and win it. And Josh Allen has to be Superman again. There's no other way. Like, he cannot play um, mistake. Yeah, he cannot play bad. He cannot have a bad game because it's it's something impossible to have a bad game against one of the greatest of all times. So, and he hasn't had a bad game. Like head to head in the playoffs, he even has more yards. Like he's 0-3 versus Patrick Mahomes, but he has more total yards, the same amount of total touchdowns, and he has made one mistake, but Mahomes hasn't made any single mistake. So these two guys have featured like the three best slate of games of any quarterbacks playing for in the playoffs, facing off against each other. Like I mean, there aren't any other two quarterbacks that have these numbers while playing against each other's combined. Like no other quarterbacks have 18 touchdowns combined and just one turnover. And I mean, so it's it's the hardest. The like for Allen to beat Mahomes, he's gotta give his all, his everything, and for Mahomes to beat Allen for the fourth time, he's gotta give his everything. I mean, they have to play at 100% at the peak of their powers, both of them. They know it. They know it, and that's what it makes this game legendary already before it's even been played. Because we know that these two guys will do everything and will play lights out to be the considered the best quarterback at the present time of in the world. So, guys, Josh Allen especially, like well, Patrick Mahomes as well, like immortality is at stake, and the Super Bowl, like this Mexican beauty is saying, like, and is like all hyped up about the Super Bowl coming in 2 weeks. But the Super Bowl is here. Like, believe me, there are two Super Bowls every year since these two guys started playing in the NFL. So, immortality, take it, it's yours! It's yours, Joshua Patrick Allen. And Patrick Mahomes, you're gonna play the real Super Bowl in a few hours. The Grim Reaper versus the Winter Soldier. The Grim Reaper, the guy that doesn't get intimidated by any obscure moment that he has ever faced in his career. Like adversity is his friend. Adversity is Mahomes' friend, and it has to become Allen's friend if he wants to beat Patrick Mahomes and become the greatest star who has ever touched the turf or the field in an NFL field. So, and well, there's no denying that Josh Allen has already been one of the greatest performers in the playoffs history. But, like, he's sharing era with one who is considered by many the GOAT already. So, he has to beat the GOAT to become the GOAT, and he has all it takes to do it. So, in his fourth opportunity, 4 is the magic number for Josh Allen because in his fourth matchup against Mahomes, he has the opportunity to beat him and go to his first Super Bowl. And he also has the opportunity to ruin Mahomes' team, which is the fourth that has gotten that has gotten to the championship game after winning 2 times in a row, but no team has ever gone to 3 Super Bowls in a row. So Mahomes and the Chiefs are looking to be that first team, and Josh Allen can ruin that. So the rivalry is already as good as the Brady and Manning rivalry was. Mahomes and Allen is the new Brady and Manning, is the Brady and Manning of this era. Mahomes and Allen is like seeing something that we never had the opportunity to see in the NBA. It's like seeing Michael Jordan facing up against Kobe Bryant. Imagine what a dream that could have been, to see these two guys, Jordan and Bryant facing off in the NBA Finals. Well, this is the equivalent. Mahomes and Allen facing off in the AFC Championship game, which is delightful. This is that's for these reasons that I've said this game, and because of like I mean they are the 1 and 2 in every single stat category in their first 7 and 8 years. Like Josh Allen is the best in total touchdowns, like in his first 7 seasons. Mahomes is the first in yards, in rating, in many categories. Like quarterback win since 2020. Mahomes number one, Josh Allen number two. Like they are always 1 and 2. Like total touchdowns since 2020. Now Josh Allen is number one, Mahomes is number two, Herbert is number three. Like as I was saying, Herbert is right there statistically, and he will be right there in the future in the playoffs facing off against them. And total yards, Mahomes of course, Allen of course, and then we have Herbert. So Mahomes and Allen are the two best in every single category, stat wise, win wise, like eye test wise, the most spectacular quarterbacks that have ever played. More total touchdowns between the two of them. I mean, more total yards when they face off against each other in their rivalry. So that's why this rivalry is insanely exciting. So, Superman versus the GOAT. So, Superman has all the support of the fans of every other team that is not the Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl. Why? Because, I mean, Mahomes has destroyed every single fan's heart that is not a Chiefs fan. Like, he has winning records against nearly everybody else not named Joshua Patrick Allen. Like, he's got losing records in his career against two quarterbacks. Like, that would make it three if Josh Allen beats him like tonight. But like just against Andrew Luck, who is retired, and Ryan Tannehill, like the prime Ryan Tannehill in the Titans, in the best Titans, with Derrick Henry. Those are the only two guys who Patrick Mahomes has a losing record against. So, and nobody has beaten, as I said, Patrick Mahomes more than 2 times besides Josh Allen. So, he's got all the support. Josh Allen has all the NFL on his back supporting him because nobody wants Mahomes to win again. Like as Marlon Humphrey expressed it during the week, that's enough. We are done with this. Like, it's not possible. This guy keeps winning every single year. Like, he's undefeated. Like, in the playoffs, in his last 8 games. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is in another level. He's in a monster level. And Josh Allen is in a monster level. So, if there is one person in this world who can beat the Monster Mahomes, the Magician Mahomes, the Grim Reaper Mahomes, the GOAT Mahomes, is the MVP, Josh Allen, the Winter Soldier, Josh Allen, the Superman, Josh Allen, the God, because in Latin America, Josh Allen is called Dios. Dios is the equivalent of God in Spanish. So he's Dios Allen. Dios Allen cannot. Is the only one who can beat this guy. So this is an immortal rivalry, and we are fortunate that we are witnessing it. So let's enjoy this. I'm very nervous and excited at the same time. Every single thing will be decided tonight. So let's see what happens. I don't wanna celebrate yet because Mahomes has proven one time and another that he's nearly invincible. But Josh Allen can become the best tonight. So I hope I can celebrate like this Buffalo Bills beauty over there and all the fans over there that are cheering for Buffalo. It's been years and years and years of heartbreaking losses for the Bills. and for Josh Allen. So we deserve, I think, like to have the best celebration tonight after beating the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. So let's go Buffalo, the MVP. Like, nothing would be sweeter. Nothing would be sweeter than advancing to the Super Bowl for a fan base by beating Patrick Mahomes. So let's go, Josh. Let's go Buffalo! Let's go Joshua, Patrick Allen, Superman. You can do it together. We will do it. We will do it as the Bills Mafia will be all over there. The best vibes, the best energies. We're gonna win. We're going for it. Let's achieve greatness and immortality. Immortality, Josh, take it. It's yours. Take it. Take it. Please take it. It's now or never. Do it. Do it. You cannot lose this game, Josh. So I'll see you tonight celebrating the win. Charlitos out.